I look fucking fantastic.
Girl.
Like, your lighting is like, I am a goddess.
You know she was a photographer, apparently. Allegedly.
Allegedly?
Allegedly, Danabelle was a photographer.
Get out. This is my show. This is my time.
Oh, sorry.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Danabelle Reads Poetry, the show where I read you poetry. On this episode, I am Alysia Knowles. Hello, how are you? And I will be reading from... Just kidding. This!
Bitch, the fuck?
Alysia Knowles reads poetry. We will read from Danabelle's chapbook, the better chapbook.
Oh.
Controversial, I know, hot take, I get it. It's Eventually the River Surrenders. Buy it. We're gonna read a poem titled, This Is Not What You Know. Picture the war. Imagine the soldier. Now think of the soldier after the war, after the fire, the ash, the water, after all he has been through. Picture the war and imagine a carnival in full color, abandoned. Place soldiers in a fairground and you have a battlefield. Place a soldier in a fairground and you have a memorial. Nobody ever comes home the same way, or they come back the same, but home is different. Pretend he fought for something and now he has to come back to this nothing, this destitute, this now. Picture the soldier in this beaten down town, in this love that's not love, this home that's not a home, this fire-wrecked earth, the ground smoky, the river ashen. Tired from battle, still wearing his fatigues, place the soldier here in this carnival, this fun fair, this house of mirrors, reflections that are not him. The echo of the real self remains an echo. Nobody ever comes home expecting this. What was I fighting for? The soldier asks the embers. Then the smoke clears. Then the good soil. The ash sinks. Then the pure river, the cleansing. Picture the soldier. Think of what you know. Imagine the landscape. Place a man on the land. Give him a flag and there will be ownership. Give him a white flag and hear him say, I call this surrender. I call this mine. It's so sad. It's so sad. Okay, seriously, this poem fucked me. Am I allowed to cuss?
Yes, go.
This poem fucked me up because at the beginning of the book you think, oh, okay, it's gonna be some Danabelle sad poetry, fine. And then this poem and you're like, oh damn, we're getting a little too real. It's the middle of the day, you're like on a lunch break and now your whole day's fucking ruined. It's great. So, I'm gonna read you these, what's it called, afterward? Synopsis. Afterward. The bit where she justifies why she's an asshole. We'll read the afterwards, the synopsis. It's not in focus. This. Thank you for reading this. I hope it makes you feel less alone. Eventually, The River Surrenders is a book of aftermath and is an epilogue of sorts to and until the dreams come. After writing the last book, I wanted to explore what happens after the fire and after the flood, but I stayed in the after for too long. That time just stood still, and all I had to offer was pretty much the same old hurt, singing a brand new song. This book is me laying to rest the depiction of love as something brutal and the lover as the opponent. Please know I have grown much softer. I have rummaged for my tender, and I have located my gentle. In fact, I wrapped it all up for you to cuddle with in the twin chapbook softer, which justifies this gentle baby girl. Do we love it? Of course we do. Do we love it more than that? Okay, so here's the thing. let me talk a little bit for a second.
Okay, go talk a little bit. I pretend to be Pillow.
You don't have to be a pillow anymore. They know you're here. You've been laughing the whole time. She can't see because I have her glasses, but
Yeah, I can't see.
here, okay, you can have Danabelle back.
Thanks.
You can have your show back.
I have my show back.
Yes, you're very welcome.
So, cabrona. There's too much foreground. You cannot see the cabrona's face. Are you talking shit about my tattoo?
You stopped her. So I might have talked a little bit of shit.
Tell me.
Well, so you have a lot of soft, pretty poems that feel to me like a nice Instagram picture.
Okay.
I eat it and then I never think about it again. These ones, when I go through the pain, I can still hear them. There's a line that makes something in my life make sense, which is bad. It is easier for me to feel pain through poetry than it is for me to feel happiness. And I know this is bad, and I know this is what's wrong with artists, maybe, and people who consume the art because it perpetuates it, which is why artists are perpetually sad.
Can I defend?
Yes.
So, rummage for my tender, you read that in the synopsis.
Yes.
Yes, I rummaged for my tender. That is actually a line from my last book, And Until the Dreams Come. One of the lines in the last poem. Yes. The poem is called Vagabond. Let me see if I remember it. Dear love, I've been a vagabond for far too long now. I can't keep navigating the rough terrains in the land of men. I have to set my bags down now. I want to go home, wherever it may be. I've been wandering the streets for years, and while train rides are always interesting, one of these days there's bound to be a train wreck, and what will you do then, love? Are you going to save me? Are you going to drive me home? Will you tuck me in and kiss me goodnight? Please check under the bed for monsters, love. I am exhausted, and quite frankly, I am so tired of being brave. Unpack my courage and turn it into something better, something softer. Rummage for my tender, it's in there somewhere, I know it is. Please tell me I haven't lost it in the way. Tell me a bedtime story, until my eyes close, until I breathe steady, and until the dreams come. Please tell me that the journey was worth it. Something like that.
I have goosebumps. No, I love that. I didn't know that.
Yes.
So I love that that's tied together and that there's this like chain
Thread.
between your
Yes.
thread. God, look at that. What a word.
You do find that relating to sadness is easier.
I can't write happy.
Have you ever
After
been
I
happy?
read don't ask those kinds of questions in front of people. It's so rude.
I think the reason why I wanted to write softer is because when I read the previous book, I was like, yo, this bitch problematic.
I love the conscious direction.
Yeah.
The conscious shift.
Yeah.
Where you're like, okay, it doesn't need to be just pain and anger and sadness and resentment. It can be lace. Like this poem is so pretty.
Just pretty. Maybe this.
Quarter notes.
Norts.
Quarter notes before 11. The birds are singing for themselves and to their selves. We're all just eavesdropping. Surrender to the pillow soft. Stop fighting against something that just wants to cradle you open. Oh. Your palm and let it hold you. Look up at the moon shining brightly on the shelf, small and battery powered, lighting up the room. I'll say my love, but my tongue is heavy with sleep, and it doesn't translate. You, me, interchanging. I call you sweetheart. You call me darling. We write love letters and publish books to each other. I paint your face, and you photograph me in the golden afternoon light in the gallery. There's a sculpture by an artist who wanted to hold his lover just one more time. Please understand there are many things I would still like to say to myself. Please listen long enough for you to hear the birds sing it with me, and eventually without me.
She wanted to heave.
Not heave. Like... No, I loved, and it was sad. Okay, I like it again. I think, okay, so I read them back to back, and the first one was just like, I have a similar issue, obviously. That's why I'm here. What's up? About writing about people that don't deserve my attention anymore, pain that is no longer relevant in my life, but I keep reliving it because the metaphors are fun and pretty, and I like writing pretty things about traumatic things. And that was so nice, but so sad. Why? So why did you want to write?
I wanted to write what?
Softer.
Like, oh, softer.
Why? No, like, so I understand, like, the moving. I think it's a growth for you. I love that it's a conscious choice, like a decision. Yeah. And to know that you're going to sit down and write it and go, okay, that was too hostile. That wasn't what I was trying. And maybe you need to write it, though.
Yeah,
maybe
I did.
That's something that needs to get out.
Because I kept writing, and I have this many notebooks just like full of hostility, and at some point I got tired of it. I kept writing about trauma. I kept like digging and reopening wounds. In a lot of this journals and in poems, you'll hear me saying I can't keep locking and unlocking the same door. Whenever I cannot think of what to write, my default is The Last Lover. So when we were talking about Ooze, I said, like, do I miss him? No, I don't. I'm just defaulting to him.
Yeah.
Because I need something, which makes me feel like a bad person, because it's like everything I do is in service of my art.
Yeah.
And...
Can you say that one more time at the camera?
It makes me feel like a bad person.
Not that part. What?
Because everything I do is in service of my art.
Do you think that you get in and out of entanglements because of that? Subconsciously. I'm not saying you're like, oh my God, haven't written a poem in a while, need to go find this entanglement. But like...
Well, exactly that, actually.
Wow, that's honest. When you write, do you only find it cathartic?
No, not always. And Until the Dreams Come, cathartic. Yeah. Like I was going through
time. When I tried to write the ABC book, I had to keep putting myself in pain in order to develop the proper metaphors, what I wanted to say, how it felt, because I had to put myself back in that headspace. So then again, I was not healing or moving on because I kept having to like almost re-traumatize myself in order to write this piece of poetry. Yes. So at what point does poetry become toxic? Do you ever write with the intention because you want to write a piece and you're not in that headspace?
Yes, I do. But then it becomes like a whispering in the ear.
Oh, okay.
So a line comes to me and then it's like, oh, okay, let's make something out of this. And then I'll write it. And then I don't know what it is. It just sounds pretty. And then suddenly there's this man's at my door that looks exactly like the poem that I wrote. And I don't know why.
Manifest it.
I find that whatever I write becomes fact. And I think subconsciously I wanted to be softer because I wanted so badly for good things to happen.
Oh. So, Danabelle can leave now. We love her, but get out. Okay. We're done with therapy session. I am going to re-traumatize you guys. In light of callbacks, we're just going to do the poem that everybody loves. And then we won't do this poem again for another 6 months, so enjoy. ABCs. It's called ABCs. For those of you who have seen me do poetry before, you'll have heard this. For those of you who haven't, I'm sorry. Without the alphabet, a poet would be nothing. Letters build words, and words are strung together like crystal beads wrapped around our throats. It was pointed out to me that I give the letter X too much attention. I cannot say his name anymore. He has assumed his position in the alphabet and has been dwindled down to a single letter, X. When you are young, they teach you the meaning of each letter. A is for apple, B is for boy, C is for cat. You can see where this is going. But as we get older, we learn different meanings for life. We find out these letters stand for things that sometimes we don't like to say out loud, like A is for appreciation, or in my case, lack of. B is still for boy because he never quite became a man. C is for cheating, the reason this poem even began. D, doubt, I don't know who he is anymore. E, effort, we have stopped talking or listening, or both, we are so damn F, frustrated, but I can't understand what gives him the right to be frustrated. G, insert her name here. H, hatred. I don't know who I hate more, her, him, or me. I, ignorance, the blind eye, keep turning, pretending I don't see his true colors. J, job, his true passion and primary concern, a place that allows him to forget me. K, knowledge, they say that it is power, but I know that it is just L, lonely. He can't look at me. M, mirror, I can't look at myself. N, insert his name here. O, optimistic, still holding on to the belief that we will work. P, pessimistic, losing faith that we will work. Q, questions mainly like why and fucking why. R is for the reasons he will never get. Just S, smile. Not everyone around us needs to know what he did. T, trust, it is lost. I have looked everywhere. U is for understanding, and I am trying to understand, but he can't understand why I'm hurt. V, vexed, like tired, like exhausted, like I have to W, walk away. Although I do not want to. Although I do love him. But I have realized that he does not know what love is. X is what I'm left with. 6.5 years and letter X has been burned onto my heart as if to say this area is void. Do not enter. Proceed at your own risk. Why? It's for the years that will go by before his memory is able to fade, before this heart fully heals and is able to lay out a welcome mat again. Z. I don't know what Z means yet, but I know that God has to have a plan.
Yes! That's my girl. That's my girl.
That's my girl.
That's my girl. She's my friend. I can't believe she's my friend. So, any last advice, words, thoughts, meanderings, violent reactions?
I think everybody should try poetry. I think everybody should write something at some point just to see what you have in there. I think we talked a lot of crap about poetry today.
You talked a lot of crap about poetry.
I talked a lot of crap about poetry today. But I think it helps people maybe see something that they didn't see before. It's the reason I started writing poetry was because I couldn't organize the thoughts in my mind, but when they put them on paper, I could.
Same. Yeah. I think in poems. And I think that's why I write when I'm in the thick of it.
Yeah. So I will too, but sometimes I'll get an idea. And I'm like, well, this metaphor is cool. But that's the only metaphor I can think of. So to develop the rest of the poem, I'm like, I'm so hurt. All of my pain. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Give it a subscribe, give some comments. Follow me on Instagram. Hey.
I'll link you down below.
Thanks. And she'll see you in the next one.
See you on the next episode. Bye.
Did you just blink?
Yeah,
Wink.
I winked. Wink.
Bye. I want to try.
Try.
I did. It didn't go well.
Okay, just do bye. Spirit fingers and mwah.
Bye.
Do it.
Bye. Spirit fingers. Mwah.
We're doing. Best outro ever. Okay, bye.
Bye.